all these insurance guys tell you you're covered, but you're not covered.
Selling insurance is what we do, but we're a technology company.
Everything I built to sell.
Hopefully you never have to use it. And if you're not covered properly, the consequences could be.
Welcome back to the Exit Rich podcast. I'm sitting here with Jimmy Loomis from the Loomis company. What Jimmy does, and I consider him a friend now, people don't realize if you don't have the proper insurance when you're going to sell your company, you're up shit's creek, and that's a whole nother conversation. So Jimmy actually came in, audited all of our stuff, saw we didn't have the proper insurance, and how it came about was we were actually selling one of our companies and we didn't have the right insurance. So we actually called Jimmy. I forget how he got introduced to you about 2 years ago.
Nadine.
Through Nadine, that's right.
Shout out to Nadine.
Shout out to Nadine, who's been a great friend to me from Rob's Towing. If you don't know Nadine, she's probably one of the brightest women operators you'll ever meet. And she's so under the radar, like she's not on social media. No. And Nadine's one of if you go get Nadine, I've always said, man, if you're ever done with Rob, call me. I don't believe in remote working, but I would let Nadine work remotely. She's a beast, right? So Jimmy, why don't you tell everybody who you are, and then we're going to talk about what you do and how you help businesses, because that's primarily what your forte is, even though you guys do a lot of P&C work, but you are specifically helping a lot of business owners protect themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so why don't you tell everybody who you are with us?
So Jimmy Loomis, I'm the Chief Operating Officer of the Loomis Company. Loomis Company was founded in 1955 by my grandfather. Today we're a little over 300 employees, a couple different offices across the country. And like you said, half of our business is the commercial, residential, personal lines, property and casualty part of it. And then also the other part of our business, which makes us a little unique, is we're a third-party administrator. So we pay health insurance claims, for self-funded health plans.
We're going to talk about that self-funded plan today.
Absolutely. We do a lot of backroom work for some larger benefit carriers where essentially we're just a white label backroom work. So that's part of our business. And then the other part, like everything that we do for you guys, the property and casualty side. And come along with that, we have an aviation division, a marine division, personal lines, and then the main part of it is the commercial P&C part.
So your grandfather built a 300 person, and this is right, and we were just bullshitting here a few minutes ago about first generation builds it, second generation enjoys it, third generation destroys it, right? And you're third generation, right? But I will give you credit. You work. I text you, you'll text me right back. Now, your dad's funny because he gets agitated when I email him. And it's funny. And he knows that I'm trying to reach you, but I got 100 things going on. I'm like, yo, man, but he's probably my age, your dad. I'm assuming he's probably just...
He's 75.
Yeah, so he definitely doesn't want to be bothered.
Oh, no. Oh, dude, he works harder than anyone.
No, I'm sure he works hard, but there's sometimes emails come to my inbox. I'm like, this ain't for me.
It happens all the time. People confuse us all the time. So we're used to it.
So here's a question, though. You're third generation. What was it like? Because you're very responsive for a third generation person, and you're very down to earth. Like most people, third generation, 300 employees, I'm assuming, I just do the math of the revenue you guys are doing real fast. It's high revenue. Insurance is going to be a very profitable business, as everyone knows. So it's even more, you're making some serious money. Where do you get the drive from? Because your business is still growing. You're running it still. You can just relax. Why not just sell it? I'm thinking with a lot of questions here, but I want to know.
Well, the selling it, we could spend all day there. Well, the neat thing is, my grandfather had started off as a small life insurance agency. It literally...
Assuming he's not alive no more if your dad's 75.
He died, but he only died a couple of years ago, over 100. So...
Oh, you got good genes.
Talking about being around a while, but the Loomis company actually started...
Did that guy work till almost to the time he died, probably?
No, him and my dad had it out. My dad was like, either I'm leaving, I'll buy the company from you, or either you're leaving or I'm leaving. And he's like, all right, you're right. So the transition of who really grew the company was my dad.
Okay.
The company started off in back of a car wash in a double wide trailer. That's what it was. And then when my dad got involved.
From a double wide trailer to 300 employees. That's what we're going to name this one, because that is insane.
It is insane. And he grew it. He got into acquisition mode when he was younger.
So he bought through acquisition.
He did. And he really grew it.
Did he take debt out for it, or he just paid? He did. So he wasn't, he
took out a lot.
He had a set. Okay. I've never taken debt out yet. I don't have that set because it's a different type of animal. I tell people that.
and he's a lot riskier than I am. But like I said, he's 75. He's still the first guy in the door and the last one to leave.
Holy.
Yeah. It's insane. I mean, he has his house in Florida. He goes down there for 6 months, but he's calling me at 7 a.m. saying, "Hey, where are we on this? Where are we on that?" He's,
What's your mom like dealing with this guy?
oh, she's an angel. She's an angel. My mom's still one of my best friends. But
So you just look at your mom and smile sometimes when you're dealing with this lunatic.
yeah.
Yeah, because you don't realize what it's like to build a 300-man insurance company. Like most insurance companies are 1 to 5 people. Most people don't realize that.
Yeah.
You start cracking 300.
That's a lot.
That's a lot to manage, the systems, the processes. You got to be an operator. Like you sell insurance, but you and your father are operators. Like you're business operators. Like you don't even have to really know. I'm not being rude. Like you're better off not even knowing too much about insurance, and you better know more about operating the business.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about that?
I can. Well, it's interesting because I listen to a lot of your podcasts now since we started doing business together. And like you tell everyone, like you're not a roofing company, you're not a contractor, you're a marketing company.
Absolutely.
We're selling insurance is what we do, but we are essentially, especially on the TPA side, we're a technology company.
What's TPA? Just so people know.
Third-party administrator.
Okay, tell me what that is, just so I know.
So that's what
I want to learn too. Why you're here.
Yeah. So a third-party administrator, really on the traditional side, people would pick. You have a group of 100 people, 100 employees. They find that it's better to self-fund your insurance rather than being in the fully funded market. Yeah. So you take your money, you take the risk, and you usually can end up being a little bit better off. And where a third-party administrator comes in, we're really just a claims payer. So we take on everything that the insurance carriers would traditionally handle in more of a fully insured type scenario, and we do all that work, everything from billings to.
Here's a question for you. So I had when I had over, because I own multiple companies, and as you know, unless you own 51%, you can't. Right? It gets hairy, right? Yeah. So I had over 100 people on the plan. People were trying to constantly sell me the self-insured. And me and Joe went through it. Mojo Jojo, shout to her. And the one thing I did like that I heard was you could cap your loss damages, meaning you could self-fund and then you could have insurance that once it gets past this amount, you're capped.
Right.
Can you explain that? Because I don't think most people know that. Because we hear self-fund, they're like, well, what happens if I have $1 million in claims next year? I'm going bankrupt.
Absolutely.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Until I educated myself. And really,
so what you do.
And we don't self-fund because we have hundreds of employees, but they're all in different corporations. You know that, yeah.
Yeah. So what you do is it's called a stop loss policy. And that's really like the catastrophic policy. So you have it's almost in layers. You have your self-funded portion where you're doing that. And then you have a spec and an ag stop loss policy. So if it's one person hits a certain amount of number or the total group hits a certain amount of numbers or the losses, that's when the stop loss insurance will come in on top of that to kind of save that.
Insurance is a killer for small businesses, as you know. Health insurance especially, right? Like, we get into the auto, and obviously I have umbrellas, as you know, which we're going to talk about why people should have umbrellas, right? I think people should have umbrellas, but most people don't even know what a fucking umbrella is, which blows my mind. Because people are going to, as soon as you get money, people are going to come for you. Like, you know that better than anyone.
Absolutely.
And nobody likes to pay insurance until you need insurance.
You're absolutely right.
But health insurance is a funny thing, right? Like you don't have many options here or across the country in all my locations, that's the nice part about dealing with you. I hate to say this, it's a one-stop shop for us. I can be anywhere and find out get a good plan, right?
Sure.
And get real pricing. But health insurance has gotten outrageously expensive, to where it drains people. Can you talk about how you mitigate it? Because you've helped us, but you don't, here in Philadelphia, how many options do you really have? 3, 4?
The big one's Independent Blue Cross. That's like in the Philly and Prior Philly area. That's really the juggernaut. You can have Highmark, you can have Independence Blue Cross, or not Independence, you can have Capital Blue Cross.
What do we have, if you don't mind me asking? You probably don't even know.
We don't handle your health insurance.
You don't?
No, we looked at it before.
Who handles our health insurance? Anyone know?
Sure.
I thought you handled our health insurance.
No.
And I thought you did, to be honest with you. But health insurance is a racket because every year it goes up and you got to go back, you got to fight with them.
That or you go to switch to one of the other two options you have.
But even it's going to a lot of times be around the same.
Right.
And then you got to kind of switch to, but the one thing I did learn is look at what people are using because you can get that. People don't realize you can actually go to them and say, give me what everyone's using. Like, show me, and I want to make sure that's it. And then you say to people, hey, listen, I'm going to raise your deductible, which we did. And just when you go to it, give me the deductible and I'll pay your deductible.
Sure.
Like, fuck it. Like, you'll save a ton of money that way.
Right.
Because the employees that do bring it in, you don't give a shit. You're like, I told everybody here that works here, there's a gym here, right? There's 2 gyms.
Yeah.
I'll pay the $25 for you. Like, why do I give a shit? Like, if you're healthy, you're going to perform better for me, right? If I pay your deductible, you're going to appreciate it. And it's like,
no, absolutely. Yeah.
And if I want to pay your deductible, right? Like, let's be realistic. Let's talk about why I went through selling, and as you know, 2 different companies I sold this year, and you've been through that transition with me. Why is it so important? Because we got caught down with not the right insurance, as you know, and it didn't ding us any money on the multiplier, but it did held up everything until we got the right insurances in place. All these insurance guys tell you you're fucking covered, but you're not covered. Can you explain why you need people to actually know? And I'm not being rude to the average sales guy out there selling insurance. He's just selling you what he's been trained on. Let me just go get premium. Let me just go sell you you're covered. But you're not covered. And then what happens? You go to sell your business or an incident happens. Like we had a issue up at One SEO, and we didn't have the right cyber policy. Right? We had business insurance. We didn't have a cyber policy. And I think it cost me almost $200,000 in legal fees. And we won. But in Pennsylvania, you don't get your legal money back. No one understands that. You just got the money. Yeah. Can you talk about that policy and why it's so important? Why do you believe most people know what they have insurance-wise?
No. But I think it's also, not only my job, anyone in the industry. I mean, that's why they're
not doing it. The majority of people sell on rate.
Yeah.
They do. The majority of people sell on rate. They do. Go look at Facebook, social media. You're paying too much for your insurance. Listen, the one thing I say to everyone, and we just outgrew him, and I'll never say a bad word about him, was Dave Lieber. I paid that guy because his customer service was just so much better than everyone.
Right.
Like I tell people all the time, if you want customer service in the insurance world, and there's not a shot at you or anyone else, there's no one better than fucking Dave Lieber. Yep. Right? The dude answers his phone on a Saturday morning. Like I give a shout out to Dave Lieber, like to anyone. If you just need basic P&C, basic insurance, that's your guy. Right. Because he goes out of his way for every single part. He treats every client like it's his only client.
Right.
And you know that's hard to do.
No, it's really hard to do, but it's also how if that's not how it's refreshing to hear that, because you don't hear that about, I mean, a lot of insurance guys, I mean, and a lot of people look at us like used car salesmen.
I don't think there's anything wrong with used car salesmen if they deliver on what they sell.
No, you're right, but sometimes they don't.
If you don't, but I can tell you this, Dave Lieber for 10 years handled our stuff. Mm-hmm. And we would have never left except for we were exposed a few times, and not no shot at him. It was just he doesn't handle business insurance when you get to certain levels, sure. Right? Like, sure. And there's nothing wrong with just saying that you outgrow someone sometimes, yeah, right? And that, like you have to level up in this game, and if you don't level up, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Why do you think most people don't pay attention to their insurance? Because most people don't. They go to the best rate. That I'm telling you right now.
I think a lot of people just don't. It's exactly what you said. You don't want to think about it. It's not sexy. It's not fun. But it's unfortunate that a lot of people look at it that way, especially business owners, because it's when you're looking on your line item sheet. It's one of the most expensive costs you have at
100%
business, and you need and it could be the light. Hopefully you never have to use it. But God forbid something does happen, and if you're not covered properly, I mean, the consequences could be catastrophic.
You're going to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to use it. Yes. I can't say that I've used the insurance coverage in every one of my companies.
In this day and age,
but you're going to use it.
Right.
You're going to use it. Like, I could tell you, whether it be in a car accident,
sure, whether
it be, an employee suing you because you fired them, right? And they just come with a bogus fucking claim. That's That's the new thing, right? Like, I'm a loser at work, I can't make it, and hey, I got terminated, so now we just turn around and sue, right? Like,
especially now and what we're dealing with, and it really, it's geographical, but let's just take the Philly area. Like the nuclear verdicts that are coming out, that's why liability is going up so much. That's why
rates are skyrocketing.
Yeah, automobile insurance is very expensive because, you could be almost not at fault and you get into, a Philly court system and it goes to a jury trial. I don't know the actual statistics on it, but
they're very favorable to people,
extremely favorable
and outrageous claims.
And that's a problem. I mean, that's a legislative problem that we could talk about for years. I don't know how that's going to get fixed, but it's really becoming a problem.
What is your daily day like? Because you're not selling insurance. Because like, I'm not being rude to you. You never sold me insurance. You came out, met with me. You were super nice, but we deal with your team.
Yeah.
Like, kind of almost like how people don't realize here, I'm not selling anything. I don't sell roofs. I don't sell any of my businesses I own, right? Like, so what's your daily day like?
I like to be in the office as much as possible. I think it's good to be seen. But with that being said, why I got, you started off, how did I get to where I got?
Yeah.
Because despite my best intentions, I didn't think I ever wanted to be in insurance. I thought I'd want to be in federal law enforcement or go to law school. And the more I got involved with the company, I mean, I ended up getting licensed to sell insurance before I graduated college. And it was just something, it's the legacy's part of it, seeing my grandfather build what my dad turned it into. And then I slowly started to realize how much I loved this business. And it's more about being able to get to go out and meet with someone like you, like being able to do that on a daily, weekly basis of meeting new people, new industries, you name it. That's what I love about this business. So I do like to be in the office. I mean, I have to be seen, I think, from a management perspective, but still, my favorite part of this business is being able to go out and sell. I still have my own book of business that I go out and service. My dad still has his own book of business that he services. And being able to travel and meet people, meet with carriers, underwriters, prospects. I mean, that's still the best part of this job.
Do you have core verticals that you're in, or kind of all over the place?
We do. I'd say where we really, well, not where we excel, but the verticals that we have defined. I mean, we have a marine division, we have an aviation division, we have a hospitality division where we handle some large property hotel type accounts that are across the country. We do a lot of contractors, a lot of manufacturers, some heavy transportation. So those are kind of the big verticals, I'd say.
Do you tell the contractors to get a personal umbrella policy like I have?
Absolutely. Well, the cost for a personal umbrella policy, it's nothing. I mean, you piss $1,000 for $1 million and keep going up, and
it's nothing. People are like, man, you got a $5 million policy. Why would you have that, Lance? I'm like, because if all the other shit hits the fan, I have a $5 million policy for a reason.
And your name's on it. So they're going to, even if they come at you corporately or personally, I mean, that's why
I think it cost me, I don't even know you. I mean, you have the policy, so but I think $5 million cost me, like, maybe I'm wrong here, but I think it's like $6,000 a year. Could that be right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Could that be the right?
Yeah. No, that wouldn't surprise me personally. I mean,
like
corporately, it's obviously expensive. Yeah.
But like
personally, it's a no-brainer.
But they're going to attach you personally anyway once you get to a certain level.
100%.
Like every time there's a fucking lawsuit for any one of my companies, my name gets attached to it.
Yeah, and that's how it is now. I mean,
but if I'm going to sue someone, I'm dragging the putting personally too, because that's just how it works, right? Like you get to certain levels, and like people go say, I want to go after you personally too, because it just puts you into a corner more.
Yeah, and that's the other problem. I mean, you have lawyers now. I mean, they're not idiots, and
I think they're idiots, but that's a whole nother conversation I feel about lawyers too. So,
but they like going after the people with deep pockets, and they're going to find it somehow. So that's why, again, insurance is another mechanism to help protect you.
It's funny you say that, because of what percentage of your claims do you think even go to trial? Hey everyone, thank you for joining us today. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Service Titan and Rilla, our technology of choice to helping us scale and grow our business, and making sure all of our viewers have the technology to scale their business, so when they want to sell it, they're able to. Trial, not arbitration, not mediation. trial?
Probably very few, I'd say. And
Less than 1%?
I don't know. It's so tough to put a number on.
I'd be willing to bet it's less than 1%. I was with my good friend
It might be.
Mike Sale the other day, and we were just talking, and he's probably the best PI lawyer in all Bucks County. He's definitely, he's the biggest, he's the largest. I call him Starbucks, but it's Crisco and Sale, it's probably the best PI law firm by far in Bucks County. That's who I would use if I got hurt, right?
Right.
And not just my friend, but he also tells you the truth of what's going to happen, the outcome of the case. I've seen him, I've referred people to him, right? And I said, Mike, how many people go to trial? Because he's a good lawyer. I said, how many times do you got to go and you can't handle the truth type shit, right? And he's like, man, we might go 1% at a time. 1%. And I think about
That's true. No.
all the times I've been in business for 15 years, 17 years, 18 years now. And listen, in real world, people don't want to hear it. In the real world, you know this, when you own businesses for a long amount of time, you're going to get sued. You're going to have lawsuits.
Absolutely.
Guess how many times I've actually ever been to trial?
0.
There you go.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true. One time we had a deadbeat, Tommy Up. This guy was a deadbeat, and he was in one of our buildings, and we had to sue him to get out, like down on Frankfurt Ave. And me and my partner Sam sued him. The lawyers messed up on the paperwork, on the lease, everything prior. Then we hired another lawyer. We're down in federal court. We went to court 1, 2, 3, maybe on the 4th time. And the judge finally ruled where we went. It was a judge trial. And the judge's like, all right, yeah, dude, like, you got to go immediately. That's the only time I've ever been to trial in 17 years. There was a deadbeat that knew how to beat the system to stay inside my building.
You get a lot of that. But you bring up a good point, and this is the other, when looking at insurance, it's not always about price, because you pay for what you get. So you're paying with a good carrier. These good carriers, their actuarials are so good at calculating that stuff, and the law firms that they have involved are so good because that's literally all they do every day. So when they come involved, I mean, they're so good at calculating, they're going to know, like, listen, we can settle it, which a lot of times people don't like to settle. But on the other side, if this does go to trial, the chances of you losing this and it escalating from the settling amount to what the potential could be,
I mean,
could be.
Everything settles for a reason. I mean, listen, they'll ask you, are you okay with settling this? We take it to trial. You have the right to say take it to trial, but then you know what happens. They're going to drop you. They're going to drop you right away because you just took all their legal fees up. I mean, you know how this goes. They're going to say, wait, we could have settled this for, say, 20, 30 grand.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend 20, 30 grand just in depositions.
Yeah, at least.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, so they're pissed now. And what happens when you go to renew, they just drop you.
Yeah.
And then now you got to go shop new insurances and look at the rates on that and see if that wasn't worth just eating your... Here's a question for you. How do the people feel about you that work for you, would you say, being third generation? Because there has to be a little bit of, this is fucking Poppy's son here.
Yeah, no, there definitely is. I mean, the people we have, I mean, our average tenure is over 20 years. I hope they look at it, because I look up to all of them. I still look at myself. I mean, they used to see me running around the office as a little kid, and I still...
So I asked the question.
Yeah, no, but I like to think that I still come in with that attitude that I don't want anyone to think I was ever given anything. I've tried my best to earn their respect, and because I respect the hell out of them. I never want to be, you see the stereotypical, the owner's son being a dick or something like that. That's not...
Well, you're definitely not that. You're a nice guy. I'll give you that. Listen, you were definitely handpicked for the role, right? You had to... Listen, my sons are going to have the front row seat to any bit, right? As long as they do the right things.
Right.
There's a lot of sons that do the wrong shit, and their dads look at them and they're like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, this shouldn't be that difficult. Like, you're born on second base or third base, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
We should be able to bring this home together, son. It seems like you said, I'm going to maximize my opportunity, and I'm going to do because you're very humble. You're very nice. I've never seen you be rude when I've been around you. I've never seen you try to pat your chest, or you're just a nice guy to everyone.
And I think it goes back to my how I was raised. I mean, my parents, even though I grew up very fortunate, they taught me to be humble, and it's something I'm trying to install. My kids are only 3 and 2, but I want to raise my children the way I was raised, because that's exactly
What's your dad like? Because if you're a beast at work, you're normally a beast at home. With certain things, tell me what your dad was
Dude,
like.
I think he liked to be a beast, but he was a softie. I think I remember you. I remember you were gonna talk at something for us, and you're like, dude, I can't make it because I've my wrestling tournament for my sons. I'm
It was.
sorry. I think I said,
Which I do apologize about that.
how hard it's,
But
but
yeah.
I think I said this to you because the relationship with my dad and he never missed a football game or a hockey game growing up with me. I'll get emotional about it, but we would spend in hockey, playing travel hockey. I mean, I hope my sons do it, but I hope they don't, because it was every weekend, Saturday and Sunday. The closest away game for us was over an hour. But so from ninth grade until senior year of high school, we're in the car together every weekend, driving to games. And then when I'm playing college football, he would fly to my away games. I mean, the guy never missed a game. So, I mean, that was the kind of, he liked to be a hard ass, but the things that he did really well, like he was never like, you're going to do insurance, or you're not going to, or you're done. I'm not, you're not going to be part of this family and this company. I'm going to throw you out. He's like, good, go to law school, or good. I mean, I really wanted to be in the FBI or be a U.S. Marshal. He was like, good, go do that.
He has that, does he in there? He got no FBI law.
I mean, that's what I was going to college for. I was like, this is really what I'm going to do. And then, he played it so cool. He's like, yeah, go do that. You can come back here. The company will be here when you get back. And, it's the more I was around, I was like, holy shit. Like, I love this business. I love this life. And that's kind of how I got.
It's funny because I don't miss my kids' stuff. Like, I can't say I never have.
Yeah.
Like, when, I might miss one football game a year for my children. And I do miss summertime wrestling, one or two, because I got great coaches, Josh Kingdig, Mason, that will go take my children. I think there is good times at every major event. I'm there. Yeah. But if it's a bullshit tournament or duel, I'm like, this is good for my sons. It's good for Mazing, who will be coaching my kids in high school for sure, right? Like, it's very close to my son. So I want to make sure that my sons have time. And then Kingdig's going to coach my kids in high school also, right? So like, I'm like, if you learn that lesson now to be with these guys on the side of the mat, you're going to have a great high school experience. Like, instead of having dad there who's never going to see the side of the mat when you're in high school. I'll be in the stands cheering for you, but I will not be on the side of the mat, and I won't be on the sideline playing football, coaching football. I don't want to take up too much of your time here, but what do you think people need to know about business? Because what's next for you guys? You went from, since you've been there, when you started 20 years ago, how many people did you have 20 years ago? Hey everyone, welcome back to the Exit Rich podcast, the podcast that will be live from the Roofing Process Conference. Tickets went fast last year, and they are already on pace to sell out. Get your tickets before it's too late.
20 years ago in 2000s, we were probably around that 150 to 200.
All right, so you doubled the business, let's just say, in 20 years, which makes sense in the insurance world. Like, it's just, right? What have been your biggest obstacles? Like, because the insurance you sell is just a widget. These things are applicable to any business, I just believe.
You're absolutely right. The insurance industry for the last couple of years has been going through the brokerage side, not the carrier side, but you are seeing this attrition and roll-ups and PE behind. That was the big thing, was buying up insurance brokerages.
Of course, it's a no-brainer. It's a residual income. Jesus Christ. Right. Just told my buddy Ryan Crookham to sell his company. I did. I'm like, sell it. Like,
so it's funny. You ask us what's next. And my dad and I made the conscious decision a couple years ago. My dad's like, I have enough money. Like, what am I going to do with more money? He's like, I love this business. You obviously love this business. So we made a conscious decision not to sell, because that's when the PE guys are still knocking at.
They're pummeling on a business like yours. I can only imagine what the valuation is. I could do the numbers. I don't want to do it publicly, but I can tell you this: they're beating down your email, your phones. I'm surprised someone hasn't showed up your front door.
Yeah, it's insane. But with all that being said, we are gaining. We're earning new business opportunities. We've probably never been in such a strategic place. Because now we can, there's not many privately owned companies like us around it.
Not 300 people, absolutely not.
Oh, no.
Absolutely not.
They all get bought up, the guys sell, the guys leave, and I've seen firsthand. I mean, we've been hiring people that have been with the companies that sold. They're like, they're like, I want to work for a family-owned business. So strategically, we've never been in a better spot. Us being able to go into very large companies and say, listen, we're third generation, and they could be a third generation company, and they just see what we have and the ethics and how we do business. That's what's important to people now. So
it's funny because like people ask me, obviously everything I build to sell.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, fuck, it's Exit Rich podcast for crying out loud. And like my slogan is LB Capital, build to sell. Like I have no problem saying like, I'm a build to sell it guy, right? Like if I sold one SEO to one company I loved, right? It's the only company I truly loved. I let that go out the door, right? Yeah. Sold to the wrong people, but that's a whole different conversation. But I mean, because you guys already have, it sounds like generational wealth, right? And I always say to people, whether you sell it or not, you still got to run it like a business. And with 300 people, you know what your EBITDA is every single year. You know what a guy like your dad is not sitting there and saying, okay, it's okay to lose $2 million this year. He's not, like, that's not happening. That's not how you build a 300.
Right.
What would you say, because PE is coming in, what's the difference between a family-owned business and a PE-owned business? Because I'm going to give you what I think after you speak, if you don't mind.
I can only speak from experience of what I've seen in some acquisitions around us and some companies similar to our size ended up selling. I mean,
were the people happy or no? Happy with the check, but not happy with the outcome?
Well, yeah. A lot of times, I mean, listen, if one day we were like, we don't want to be in insurance anymore, sell it, and we're not going to, we're going to be happy with the paycheck, but our employees are going to be screwed. They're going to be unhappy, and so be it. But that's one of the reasons why we don't want to.
Do you think people are just unhappy with change, though?
Yes.
Because I know some of these PE firms, and 95% of these guys are good people. They're operators. They're smart. I just think sometimes people don't like someone asked me today, I've been with my wife for almost 15 years, and they said, would it be hard if she left? I said, dude, it's 15 years of my life. I'm like, I don't put my clothes out. My wife does. Like, what are you talking? Would it be hard? My whole life would be upside down.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how it hits when PE comes in, because people are like, not right away, 3 or 6 months, when they start making changes, people are like, I don't like change.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, your average 10-year employee's been 20 years with you. That's going to be, no matter what they change, it just could be the fucking food in the lunchroom. People are going to complain.
No, you're absolutely.
I mean, I saw I'm asking that question. Like, do you think that's part of the problem?
I think change is part of it, but change isn't a bad thing. I mean, there's a lot of it. There's some PE firms out there that have been doing a lot of roll-ups and acquisitions, and maybe they don't do it the right way. There's some guys who are doing it, who are doing it the right way.
I agree with that. I think there's good people in all spaces.
It always depends. I mean, if it was going down the road of selling our business, there are some strategic partners out there, and they are PE backed, but they're in the insurance business. They're not. They're obviously they're there to make money, but they understand the insurance side of it. Where there are some guys are strictly about the money. They want to buy it, gut it, just so they can sell it again. That's where you don't see the best.
And that's where you don't see the best. But they're mostly like, I feel like they're search fund guys.
Yeah.
Like they're guys they're coming and they're buying your company. There's 30 people on the cap table, 15 people that raise money. The PE firms I see that have the funds, all these guys are good guys. And the last thing they want to lose is employees. Like that's the asset.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like for you guys, the book of business residual is great to have, but the asset is all the 300 employees, because if they go down to 150, you're going to lose a ton of customers.
You're going to lose
business. Correct. And people don't understand that. Yeah. Like you can't go gut a 300-man company down to 200 unless you're Elon Musk at Twitter. And it worked out for him though.
Sure.
But I do believe in some organizations, and this is going to sound horrible, the bigger the organization gets, the bigger the percentage gets of dead weight not doing anything every day.
No, that's a good point.
Absolutely. And that's the sad part. How has being a father changed your life now? Because how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
37.
37? So you're still a kid. My son's age. My son's 35. You had kids at 34, 35. Yep. How has that changed your work-life balance, the whole thing, being a father? Does it make you realize now how much your father truly loved you now that you have children? I don't think you'll ever understand how much a parent loves someone Like my wife's dad always said, now you know how much I love you once you gave birth to LJ.
Yeah.
And I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, your dad loved you so much. It must be an amazing feeling. I'm like, how's it for you to be a father
It's
now?
amazing. It's amazing. I mean, now it's like an outlet, when I was younger, it used to be, all right, let's go get a happy hour. Let's go do this. Let's go do this after work. Like when I'm ready to check out, I want to go home and just see these two little maniacs running at me yelling, "Daddy." I mean, it's the best part of my day. And it is. I mean, and my wife still works full time, and
Does you work at Loomis?
no, she works for Morgan Stanley, but
Yeah, that's funny. I'd love to be a fly on that dinner table.
yeah, I mean, she's brilliant, very smart, but she gets to work from home. So she gets to see the kids a lot. When I'm traveling, I love being able to get home. I want to get home for bedtime. I like being there in the mornings when they get up. I mean, that's it. It really is. I mean, that's the brightest part of my day. Like I could be having the most shit day ever and get home to them, and it's the best release anyone could ever have.
No doubt. Gives you clarity. So I got to ask this question that you brought up. Does your wife sell insurance for Morgan Stanley?
No.
Okay.
No, she's
Okay, I was just asking because I'm like, now that would be a comical. That's why I started laughing. So I'm like, this dude has a wife that sells insurance for Morgan.
no.
I'm like, I just love to hear that.
Yeah.
Hey, look at my numbers this month, Jimbo. You'd be like, holy shit. Last question here for you. What would you say to somebody out there listening to this and they're a contractor and they're not sure if they're overpaying insurance, underpaying, if they're covered right? Like the first thing I did was I asked for recommendations from 3 people, which I'm a very network guy, right?
Sure.
Like follow success, it leaves clues. Rob's telling, I'm friends with Rob. Nadine, I knew was a beast. I literally reached out to Nadine and said, who the hell does all your business insurance? Because at the time, I think Rob's was about the size I was at that time, right? And I thought it was very similar. So I was like, who does it? They referred me to you. And it's been great ever since, right? And that's not a shot at my last guy. Like I told you, I was good friends with him when I met you. I was like, his customer service is great. We just have businesses in different states. As things growing, we need someone that can handle all the fucking different components of what goes on. Because different states have different rules.
Oh, yeah.
And when you go operate a business in California, like I tell people, go operate a business in California, Russia, right? That thing, it'd be easier to run a business in Pakistan. Honestly, like
You're not kidding.
seriously, I'm not being rude.
No,
And I have businesses in California.
I know.
And yeah. So, so what would you say to that person, that contractor has no clue what they're doing about their insurance? Because it's the most important thing you do need.
You know why I like working with contractors on the insurance side? Because they're usually no BS. They get bid on all the time. So I'm used to having contractors who bid on me to keep me honest. That's always a good thing. I mean, competition always drives down prices. If you don't know where you're at, but you know at least what you have, get a second look at it. Get a second broker to take a look at it.
Yeah, I'm all about that. You got to have knowledge. Knowledge is power.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Listen, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
All right.
I enjoyed it. Listen, I hope everybody, if someone wants to get a hold of you and have you actually, how's someone get a hold of you if they want to talk to you?
You want my cell phone number?
Yeah, put your cell phone number.
Give my cell a call, 484-955-5686.
So I got to tell you, we have guests all the time. I give my cell phone out to everyone. I think he might be the first one out of all the episodes to actually say, here's my cell phone.
I think so.
I think you might be the first one, which shows you your commitment. People don't understand that. When you're willing to give your cell phone number out and people are like, oh, I'm a lunatic calls me. My phone's on silent.
Yeah.
Right. And then if I see you're real, I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you for coming in, brother.
Thank you so much.